it's Ed Stevens from Yamaha. What we're going to talk about just now is our engine controls. First off, we're going to talk about our kill switch and the safety lanyard here, so that when we remove the safety lanyard, the engine would stop. If we were doing any of the cleaning or maintenance, we would also ensure that we have our safety lanyard removed and our ignition key removed from the ignition while someone is working around the engine. So first off, we would then replace our key and place our safety lanyard into position. Turn the key on, check that our engine would start. Remove the lanyard and make sure that our engine would stop. That would be daily maintenance, really, in terms of our boat checks that we would do. Next off, we're going to talk about our control cables and how we care for these in terms of, one, the maintenance, and checking whether they are due for replacement in terms of the stiffness and flexibility of the control cables and how it affects our boat handling ultimately, because it makes it hard to operate our remote control. This remote control, we have a free throttle lever, and you can see the throttle cable moving nice and freely here in front of me. So whilst that would apply revs in neutral, then also we have our neutral switch, the red one, to engage and move gear. So we've engaged forwards gear, and then the more we press, the more we increase our throttle and the faster the boat would go. And it's all a nice smooth operation. Back into neutral, shift back into reverse, and the same thing, we would increase the throttle. So with the engine stopped, we can set these like this, and we can apply some grease to these. This is the only exposed bit of this cable that requires maintenance on a routine basis. So what we're looking for here is a nice smooth operation throughout both the gear shift and when it comes back into neutral, and also once we've gone into gear, that we open throttle. And that's a nice smooth thing. If we're having to push it really hard, then potentially our throttle cable has a kink or bend in it as this works its way through the boat or into the engine. You need to look for any possible towing or towing bridle or stern line that's been pulled around the engine cable. If you find that your gear and throttle cable are really stiff, it's something that should be picked up on your routine maintenance with a service dealer as per the owner's manual, or depending on your capabilities, you may be able to change these yourself. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the neutral lock, interlock lever here and explain its functionality and show how it actually works on the control box. So we take the handle off, the neutral lever here interlocks into this notch here. So if for some reason this doesn't lock into neutral or stay in neutral, that's because this has probably been broken or dislodged through a force of operation. It's easy to change this part, and it's a fairly standard replacement part that would be part of a regular routine check. The neutral lever is just a spring mechanism here. As you'll see, this is quite well greased. That would be maybe an annual check, the greasing of this, or as and when you replace control cables, you would check the operation here. When our control cables would then be rigged into the engine, they would fit through here. There would be a plate that would hold them in position here that acts as the pivot point on the engine. But within the engine, they would also fit on the gear shifter here and the throttle actuator here. These areas we would just ensure that they are well greased.